Progress comes to a world of magic as science and the arcane combine to make marvels. Meet steampunk inventors and orc mystics at the Volsung Hub on beastsofwar.com. Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hi guys, myself and Sean are back for another of our sort of, situational tactics to show off a couple of the cool tricks and tips that you can do in Wild West Exodus. So,
definitely.
What are we exploring today?
So we're going to talk a little bit about special rules, get kind of a grounding in some of these cool different things that these models can do.
Yeah.
Things that make different models unique and why you would take them in your list.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We've definitely talked about it in some of the other videos.
Oh yeah,
different things that
we've seen Abraham Lincoln doing his thing. I see he's facing off against Jesse James here, and he's in melee.
Yep.
This does not seem good for Jesse James here to have Abe Lincoln bearing down on you with that monstrous axe.
Yep.
So what exactly do we have happening here?
So, we can probably imagine what's already happened on the way in here. Abe Lincoln has come in, probably done a little bit of damage to Jesse.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's had to move very far and has only got that single power 13 swing at him.
Yep, only that single attack. Put a little bit of damage on him. Definitely not dead yet.
Yeah.
But Abe probably didn't get much damage onto him either.
I would doubt it.
So let's think about the sort of options that we have. We have a lot of hired hands around here.
Yeah.
We have an Iron Horse.
Yeah.
We even have these guys over here fighting.
Yeah, so a little Union guy and a little Outlaw guy have managed to get into a bit of a rock beside the two big guys.
Yep. And we're looking at the things that we have as options.
Yeah.
And the first thing we want to look towards, we want to look towards some firepower. What can really put some hurting into Abe?
Yeah.
And we're like, man, the Iron Horse would do great.
Yeah.
But it's a blast weapon. We got Jesse right there.
Yeah, he's already took a bit of damage. We don't know how badly wounded this man is right now.
Yeah, we don't want to do too much damage. So let's look at Frank. Frank is going to be a single target.
Okay.
Single target, pretty high damage, pretty well off amount of things to do.
He's got a good marksmanship stat.
Yeah, he does have a good marksmanship.
Here's the question though.
Yep.
He's shooting into melee.
He is shooting into melee.
What's the penalties for that?
So generally there's a +2 marksmanship penalty when you're shooting into melee. But check this out. Frank James always has the boss's back. Whether his boss is Jesse James or Bill Brocious, whoever it may be, he's got his back. He's looking out for him. So what that means is he's not going to suffer that penalty for shooting into combat against the boss. So
So basically, if I decided for him to shoot from here into this combat, he would suffer that.
He would suffer that penalty against that guy right there.
Yeah, but if he's firing into here against Abe and Jesse, he's keeping an eye out for the boss, so he's being a little more careful with his aim.
Exactly. He's scoping up a little bit harder.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we've got him firing into there. So what's going to happen there? What's his marksmanship stat?
So his marksmanship, it's normally a 4+. Since he gets to take an aim action, like we've talked about a bit before.
4 free at the start of his action.
It's a -2 to his marksmanship, as well as ignoring any terrain modifiers. So there's not going to be any cover.
He's
this
definitely
way anyway.
within his 15, so
definitely
he's not getting that +1.
Yeah, he normally has a 30-inch range. At the half range, he's going to be at his normal marksmanship, so he's still within that. And then now, because of Got Your Back, he's now going to not suffer the melee penalties.
So if you pass me a dice here, isn't it rate of fire 1, I believe?
Yep, rate of fire 1.
Yeah, so I think, if I'm right, it's a 2+.
He only needs a 2.
He only needs a 2. Well, let's always hope for a 10.
There it is. So one thing that's
joke, guys. A 10.
A 10. And Abe with Frank's rifle, it's got armor piercing. So it would take 2 off automatically. Abe's a little bit more armored than that. So with that 10, it's going to take it all the way down to 0. Now we're rolling directly against that. And this is kind of your first chance to be able to get a decent amount of damage into him.
Yeah, and Abe Lincoln being that combat monster, I want to start knocking him down as quickly as I can to get Jesse out of this fix that he's got himself into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, Frank can turn around, he can do it again, and he's still going to be able to shoot into melee without that penalty. He won't get the aim bonuses, but it's still a lot better than shooting into melee with your Iron Horse or even one of your hired hands. So he can start to whittle him down for Jesse on the way in. So Jesse you know, once he's out of that, he's going to be able to utilize a lot more of his own rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, even where he's at, he still has 1 or 2 rules that are going to help him here, because he has his close work.
Yep, he's got his close work.
That's going to let him fire his pistols in close combat. So he's such a good shot that he can actually find ways to shoot at Lincoln as he's swinging the axe at him.
Exactly.
And with him having his 3 action points and 4 shots per, you're getting 12 close range shots. Right? Maybe even aim the first one just to make sure you're getting good hits on it.
Definitely.
You know, and then Abe Lincoln, I think, might fall to Jesse James if he gets in too close.
Yep, it's potential, but if he doesn't, if Abe is able to make it through and Abe gets another activation, and Abe swings that axe down.
Yeah, Jesse's really going to feel it.
Yeah.
But even then, when Jesse falls, he gets that last hurrah, that last laugh to take a final, you know, twin pistol shot at Lincoln to say, you are coming with me to hell.
Exactly. And that is what's making them both, you know, so dynamic in this situation. They're not just facing off. There's not just, you know, a little bit of fighting. But there's a lot. There's depth that's going on. We've got Frank here watching his back. We got Lincoln swinging this big axe. You know, there's more Union that's on their way in just in case, you know, Lincoln gets himself into trouble. So things are going to get really interesting.
Right, so here's one question I've been meaning to ask, but I've kept forgetting to ask. So I will apologize to the community now because I've been forgetting to ask this. What happens when your leader dies?
So when your leader dies, you have your boss model. You got to start taking command checks.
Okay.
So all these guys are going to have to start taking command checks to keep from fleeing away off the table.
I see.
Running off.
I see.
The game isn't over by any means. Now you're relying.
It becomes harder to actually stand and fight because.
Exactly.
Oh crap! The boss is gone.
The boss is gone, and then you'll resort to your next highest leader, pretty much. So if it's your underboss, your underboss's courage, or your sidekick courage, whatever is the highest. So basically, your highest secondary courage in the army is what you're going to run to. So you have, you know, factions that have a bit more fearless models, so you'll see less running away from somebody like
if you look at the Holy Order with their 1+ courage, that's the religious fanaticism kicking in. You know, we believe so strongly we will not be moved. But I mean, like, even with Jesse shooting in close combat, now his pistols have a couple of cool special rules as well on them.
So his standard regular old pistols are just going to be accurate, right? They're power 10, they're accurate, they're going to do what they do.
Don't care about being over half range.
They don't care about that half range. They can shoot their full distance, no penalties, other than regular terrain and things like that. But then if he puts them together to his heat blast ammo, that's where things are going to really heat up, get exciting. He'll get blast on those, which means that now it's going to turn into a larger area. Just like here, you're going to see, you know, now that damage is going to hit a larger area.
So it's going to hit that AoE. So, I mean, like, yes, he could shoot at Lincoln, but he might actually backfire and hit himself.
Hit himself. And that he can only do that during his activations. On that, he's also got thermite rounds, which we talked about, halves your armor. And then it's power 14, so it's going to do a lot of damage. Another thing to note about blast damage, too, is not only does it hit you, it also forces you to go prone and causes you to start taking courage tests. So, you know, blast weapons can be pretty nasty.
Things like that can really start to give you some table control. You know, but I mean, like, we've been discussing a few of the special rules through this entire series. So I think for the next video, guys, I'm going to get sat down with Sean. And we're literally just going to sit down and have a chat about all these special rules, the universal special rules, because I need to know what to do because I want to beat this man. And I'm sure you want to know what to do because you're going to want to beat your mates.
So rail ammo, when it hits a person, it continues to go past them. So it reduces their armor to 0, reduces anybody else hit by its armor to 0, and then it's basically a straight line template, and everybody in that line gets hit by it.
All right, so you need to be sort of careful with this ammunition, because say I had someone with that lined up on Abraham Lincoln, and he was shooting through here, so he's shooting Jesse. He's getting his friend behind him. But if I had another Union guy behind him, would he get hit and take the damage too?
Venture into the dangerous dungeons of myth as a mighty hero and stand against the darkness. Visit the Myth Hub on beastsofwar.com and begin your story. Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com.